Alright, so everyone, this is GeoWill from Man Productions², and we're back to continue our live streaming for our new plugin development. So I've managed to get the refine window working on our advanced weapon plugin. Notice it did not say fixed. I did not fix it, but I got it to work. And the way that I got it to work was very, very, very strange. So basically, in addition to calling the hide and disable or deactivate commands up here in the scene, I also had to call them down here in the actual frigging window itself. No clue why that this works, but it does. If you don't do the ones up in the scene, what happens is that this window stays, and then the functionality from the action window gets thrown into it. So I think there's something funky between this and the action pane window action pane. I'll have to look and see exactly. Maybe somewhere there's a function that's referencing it, or maybe there's a. It's all window refine. Or maybe somewhere when we're creating it, somehow it's being somehow associated with it. But it is working now. I've managed to get up to 2 refines, though there's a problem with this window. Once you've reset the, and we're going to check this out right now. Once you have gotten to the next refinement, once you've refined, this window doesn't update. So even though this is grayed out, you can still select it, and you can see the increased DXP is working here. We'll need to fix that, though. The durability keeps on. It's still, the durability increase thing is still there. We'll need to fix that. But yeah, so, and then when you come back out to it, though, it's fine. It shows up correctly. And you can't select that. So it's just somehow on the updating of this, whatever we're using to store the level or whatever we're using to access the level is not working properly for after we get back from refinement. So we're going to check that out. So that's in action panel, pane, whatever it's called, which is below that. Here we go. So we want the command list. So if this dot weapon level equals this dot weapon level max, capacity. So the question is are we saying the opacity down here? So that's not it. It's legitimately saying this is still true, which is interesting because I added a function to update the wep up here, update wep. So let's see. We'll put a breakpoint here. One here. And then here, and then here. So, no, yeah, it has to be going through this because we reset to 255. So any changes that we make here would be overridden after it does another element that doesn't go into this stuff. So it's got to be going into here for some reason. So what we're going to do is we're just going to restart. And we are going to test this out. See what we I'm actually going to disable those for now. And then once we go to the refine window and before we click on OK, I will re-enable them. Alright. So re-enable these. On OK, and refine, and wow. It's not. It's not even calling any of that. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it's like the. It's like this stuff isn't part of the scene anymore or something. Because I know it's calling this stuff, but there's no effect. It's not having any effect. We're not. Well, I shouldn't. Oh, okay. I know why. I only did it on cancel. Actually, in fact, it should be on. Not on cancel, but on OK. And I'm in the wrong window. Caught it relatively soon that time. So I posted this issue up on RMMVmaker.com. So I haven't gotten any replies back yet, but shall see. This goes there. Take this off here, though. Yeah, because technically we don't have to do anything because it's still the same weapon. We haven't changed it when we do a cancel. All right. Now maybe we don't even need to have the breakpoints in here. Refresh. Okay. And then also some guy was looking for a person was looking for a some sort of modification to YEP core, YEP option score to allow to store the window color, because you can change the window color with YEP option score, and to return it to that after through an event. So I worked on that earlier this morning. That's why I'm streaming now instead of earlier. So it's working on that. Pretty simple. Just store the window color in a variable, pass the variable ID through a plugin command to a new game interpreter added to option score, and then process that to reset the window tone. All right, moment of truth. No, this web act wind refresh is not a function. See, this is what I don't get. Something is really freaking wrong here. How is refresh not a function? Oh, it's lowercase refresh. Yeah. Of course. It's always the capitalization. Well, of course, capital R refresh is not a function. It's lowercase r. Javascript's like, I know you're asking for a refresh, but it's a capital R and I'm too stupid to know the difference, so I'm just going to spit out this error. And I don't know why I just did all that. Because once we refine it, none of that stays. Well, the gold stays. But the experience doesn't. Alright, let's try this again. Yes. Yes. So when I was at work yesterday and the phone system is kind of wonky. Not sure really why it's flaky, but it is. But it started putting people on hold for hours before actually sending them, transferring to the correct extensions. And I was like, well, I guess Skynet's confirmed. Okay, so we should be able to level. So you can see now that our this is originally 114 or 414 or 416 or something. So you can see we're getting an additional thing here. So the increased cost based on the refinement is working. Well, yes, because we're adding the whatever onto it, or multiplying whatever onto it. Ignore the durability increases. That isn't actually happening. It's just we didn't when we went through and brought all this back, we also unintentionally brought back the stuff that changes this to a plus if it's adding to it. So here's an extra fine. So this should all go up by at least 1%, and then this should go up as well. So 1 on attack, 1 on durability, or 4 on durability, and 1 for each trait. So 55, 40, 45, 61. Awesome. Durability went up by 1. So let's go grab some more experience. So 437. Yeah, and it's more now. So this is working. Awesome. So weapon leveling up. And you can see we're not adding anything to the stats this time, which is good. So that's working. So weapon leveling up, weapon refining, and multiple weapon refinements, and increasing costs based on that, and then also increasing. Awesome. See, now that we've got these high enough, we're getting more to it. So now bleeding's going to have +3, +2, +2, and +2, and this is going to have +1. Because we've gotten to a point where the bonus times the refinement level is high enough that these things are getting more to them. So that's exactly what I wanted to see. Awesome. 9, 3, 8, 63, 14. Perfect. So yeah, weapon refinement is basically the next version of leveling up once you've gotten to the max level. It allows you to further improve your weaponry. Obviously it's hella expensive, but it should be. I mean, you can basically... Now, I'm not sure if we should do like a max refine level or not. I mean, theoretically we should, because you could theoretically send these things, you know, over 100% this way. Well, I guess we could add in checks to prevent that from happening, I suppose. Yeah, cool. Let's do another one. Let's go to refine 5. I want to see... First, we're only going to level 10, so the costs don't get too insane. So that's another thing to consider, is that if you have a lower level weapon, lower max level weapon, you might want to put the refine bonus lower, unless you want to have it be kind of crazy. Alright, so we go back to refines. Now we're getting 7%, 5%, 5%, 19 durability, 6 on attack, and 2 on counter. Nice. Oh wow, that was interesting. I accidentally left and right clicked almost at the same time, and it caused this to happen. Alright, that's working. So the next thing is to take off the durability. So that's the level up window, level up info window. So where is that at? So that would be this one. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Perfect. So the durability stuff, yeah. This needs to go inside of a... This needs to go up here inside of this. And then we should probably also put this up here, so that if this doesn't run, it will have the base thing here. So what would happen if we didn't have this up here is that this would just be nothing. It would print out nothing. So we need to print out a default value so that if it doesn't get overridden by this, like so if we have a refine level, this won't get called, so this will stay. But if we don't, then this will be overwritten by whatever happens in here. So that'll fix that. Now, let's talk about synthesis. So, we kind of have some stuff here that we listed. So, what do we actually need for this? So, we need a new... Well, first we need to have we have to have two weapon selections. So the weapon we have currently selected, and then another weapon to select. So we have to select a donor weapon. What conditions should apply for selecting this weapon? So for example, should it be the same weapon type? Should have a minimum weapon level to synthesize the weapons. So I think so let's just put the so donor conditions. So I think one thing we'll need is that the donor weapon has to be the same. So has to be the same refine / weapon / level. So if a weapon is level 10, then the donor weapon has, if your base weapon is level 10 as base weapon, then your donor weapon has to be level 10. If your base weapon is level 10 refine level 3, then your donor weapon has to be the same. I don't think it'll have to be the same type of weapon, so like you can take an axe and use it and synthesize it into a sword. Gold cost. Donor conditions. Okay, so costs. So for right now, just gold. Maybe items in the future. Well, maybe item or items. I'll say items this way. One or more items in the future. So you might have to have an item to synthesize, kind of like in Star Ocean 3, where you need synthesis materials to synthesize weapons. What else what might we need for a cost? Obviously, donor weapon destroyed. So bonuses, which we kind of outlined up there. So so params and traits that already exist on base weapon, which are carried over from donor weapon, will be added at a rate of 13%. That do not. Right, what did we say, 25? 30. So double, basically. Okay. So these are the conditions we need to have. So so how this will work is, so you'll already have the base weapon selected, so when you're working with, we'll have to bring up a new selection window that will have only weapons that match these conditions. So they have the same refine and weapon level for now. There may be more conditions in the future. So once you have something that's the same refine and weapon level, then you can select that. When we select that, then we have to load both weapons into the web stat screen, and then produce the values that show up there, the increase in the values that show up on, they'll show up on that based on these conditions down here. So any param or trait that exists already will be added at, will be upgraded by 13% of the donor weapons values, and anything that doesn't exist will be added at a rate of 30% of what the donor value is, donor weapon value is for those traits or params. So we are going to need first to then display that new window. So I think we'll just copy the weapon list and change how it's change the weapons it's showing. So weapon list, I'll say donor weapon list. And weapon list, where are you? Oh, we need to go below that. So create weapon list, on whip select on cancel. Bring these down here. So on create donor weapon list. Web donor list. So on donor web, select and donor web cancel. Change these. And then, yeah, because we're going to basically have the same functionality as the previous weapon list. So just grab all this. I'm just going to put it down right here. Window, donor, weapon, list. Yeah. Okay, so stat window, status window, blah blah. So now, I mean the stat window. We also need the weapon though. So this dot underscore base wep equals wep. So we don't need selected weapon. Well, selected donor weapon, I guess. Donor weapon. That should really be donor as well. Just to remain consistent there. Now, set donor weapon. We'll have to make a function for that. So, now, we have our command list that we're building here. So first of all, equals weapon. Next, if weapon dot underscore So we're just gonna say underscore level equals this dot, well, this dot underscore, we'll need to save it. Well, actually no, it's foreign, so we could use this in here. This dot underscore base wep dot underscore level, and weapon underscore ref level equals this dot underscore base wep dot underscore ref level. Let's also go ahead and update this now to include the reference, or not the reference, the ref level. So plus weapon underscore ref level. I just want to borrow this now and put that up here too. Let's do it this way. It's probably better. So nothing, then if weapon underscore ref level greater than 0, else probably better to do it that way. Oh, and then see new C item. It's probably better to do it this way. That way, it's based on whether or not there's a 0 or not. So if it's 0, it won't show anything. Instead of saying plus 0. So replace all that. Oops. And then we want to, at the end, do this to underscore comlist.push cancel. We want to have a cancel option in there on this one, in case there aren't any weapons at all. Okay. So we have that. Let's go ahead and add in, I'm going to go ahead and change this. First, let's go to H. Now I want to select all this. Well, yeah, because I want to change the window as well. Status level prototype. Find oh, come on. I think it undid the selection, which is not surprising.